Hello students, welcome to the class. In this chapter, you will explore about basics of computers, computer generations, development of electronic machines, benefits of computer system, and basics of hardware and software. Computer generations. We may broadly divide the computer generations into 5 major periods. Each of these generations may be characterized by the technology it used and the nature of operation of computer systems of that period. With the passage of time, new technological innovations took place and the efficiency of computer increased and the cost of processing decreased. Period 1942 to 1956 is called first generation of computers. The first generation computers were using vacuum tubes as the main electronic component and used magnetic drums for storing data. Their size was quite big, even they occupied a full room. They were very expensive, heat producing, required a lot of cooling, and their maintenance was very tedious task. The first generation computer operated upon machine language and used it as programming language. Input was given to them by punched cards and paper tapes. They were able to solve one problem at a time. 1956 to 1965 is called second generation of computers. The second generation computers used transistors as the electronic component. The transistors made the computers much smaller, consumed less power, faster, efficient, cheaper, and reliable than the first generation computers. Although they were heat producing, but were more reliable. In this generation, magnetic cores were used as primary memory, and magnetic tapes and magnetic disks were used as secondary storage devices. High-level languages such as COBOL and Fortran were introduced in this generation. 1965 to 1975 is called third generation of computers. The third generation computers have used integrated circuits, that is ICs, in place of transistors. A single IC could hold a large number of transistors, resistors, and capacitors, which caused the size of the computers more compact. The computers of this generation used keyboards and monitors for input and output respectively. The concept of operating system was also introduced. In this generation, the concept of time sharing and multi-programming operating system was introduced. Many new high-level languages like Fortran 4, Pascal, and BASIC, etc. were introduced in 1975 to 1988 is called fourth generation of computers. In this generation, microprocessors were introduced as thousands of ICs were fabricated on a single chip made up of silicon. The computers of this generation used very large-scale integrated circuits, that is VLSI technology. The Intel 4004 chip, which was developed in 1971, located all the components of a computer on a single chip. The size of the computers reduced, which gave rise to the new named desktop computer or personal computer. In this generation, the concept of time sharing, real-time processing, distributed operating system was used. New high-level languages like C, C++, and databases were used in this generation. 1988 onwards is called fifth generation of computers. In the fifth generation, a new technology, ULSI, that is ultra-large-scale integration, was developed, resulting in a microprocessor chip on which up to 10 million electronic components could be incorporated. The concepts like artificial intelligence, voice recognition, mobile communication, satellite communication, signal data processing were introduced. Even machines like human brains were developed and more work is still going on these new innovations. High-level languages like Java, VB, and .NET framework were introduced in this generation. Do you know the first use of the word computer was recorded in 1613, referring to a person who carried out calculations or computations, and the word continued to be used in that sense until the middle of the 20th century. Development of electronic machines. The abacus, which emerged about 5,000 years ago, may be considered as first computer. This device allowed users to perform basic calculations by using a system of sliding beads arranged on a rack. But as the use of paper and pencil spread, the abacus lost its importance. It took nearly 12 centuries for the next significant advancement in the making of a computer device. In the year 1642, Blaise Pascal invented a numerical wheel calculator. This brass rectangular box used 8 movable dials to add sum up to 8 figures long. He gave it the name Pascaline. In the year 1646, a German mathematician, Gottfried Wilhelm von Leibniz, improved the Pascaline by creating a machine that could also multiply. Leibniz's mechanical multiplier worked by a system of gears and dials. This machine was used till 1820. And then the mechanical calculators were introduced by a Frenchman, Charles Xavier Thomas de Colmar, which was capable of performing 4 basic arithmetic functions. It was named arithmometer. With its enhanced versatility, the arithmometer was widely used up until First World War. The real beginning of computers, which we know today, can be associated with an English mathematics professor, Charles Babbage. Babbage's attempt brought a new machine which was able to perform differential equations, and he named it as difference engine. This machine was powered by steam, was quite big in size, and was able to store programs and could able to perform calculations and print the results simultaneously. After working on the difference engine for 10 years, Babbage inspired to work on first general-purpose computer and named it Analytical Engine. Babbage's assistant, Augusta Ada King, was instrumental in the machine's design. In their honor, the US Defense Department named a programming language, ADA, in her honor in 1980s. Students, while learning computer system, you will become familiar with some common terms. Now let's have a look at some of these terms and what do they mean. Basic components of an information system are data, users, hardware, software, and procedures. A computer is a part of information system. You must be coming across a computer system at many places, like a workplace, or some of your friends might have one at home. Basically, a computer is nothing but a device that accepts input, processes data, stores data, and produces output, all according to a series of stored instructions. Anyone working on the computer is called user. Understand the difference of data and information. The raw, unorganized facts, including text, image, numbers, and sounds, are called data. Processing data results in information. Understand this further by hearing to this conversation. Hi Ramesh, did you attend today's computer class? Yes Suresh, our teacher explained the difference between data and information today. I missed it today. Could you brief it to me? Yes, sure Suresh. The collection of unorganized fact and figure is called data. Data can be numbers, text, images, sound, etc. Data does not convey any meaning and it is processed or manipulated to produce meaningful information. Data is entered in the computer using an input device like a keyboard and is stored in the computer's memory. It is then processed as per the given set of instructions in some context. The result is displayed on any of the output device such as monitor. So Ramesh, can we say that anything visible on computer screen is information? No, the manipulated and processed form of data is called information. It is more meaningful than data, which is used for making decisions like the charts, graphs, etc. So we can say that when data are processed, organized, structured or presented in a given context so as to make them useful, they are called information. Can you give some example, Ramesh? Okay, for example, in a mark sheet, the marks entered are the data and the complete mark sheet is an information as it shows the relevant and processed data like the percentage, the result that is pass, fail status, students rank, etc. Thanks Ramesh, you saved my day. Basic characteristics of a computer system are speed. The computer processes the data at a very high speed. Computers take only few seconds to process a huge amount of data. That is, millions of instructions may be processed in a second. Accuracy. The results produced by a computer are very correct. If correct data is entered in the computer, the output obtained is accurate. The computer works on the theory of GIGO, that is, garbage in, garbage out. High storage capacity. Computers have a large memory and can store a large amount of data in a very compact manner. Any information stored in a computer may be retained in it for a very long period. With this feature, lot of repetition is avoided. Versatility. Computers are used to perform a variety of tasks. We may use them to write letters, prepare sheets, listen to music, prepare inventory reports, hospital management, banking, and many more. Diligence. Being a machine, a computer is free from fatigue, lack of concentration, boredom. Computer will perform the last instruction at the same speed at which the first instruction was processed. But computer system has a limitation that it works in accordance with a predetermined but variable set of procedural instructions, that is program, to produce a result in the form of information or signals. In an unanticipated situation, the computer cannot take any decision on its own. The sequence of instructions cannot be changed by the computer. It has no IQ, that is intelligent quotient. Now let's understand what is meant by hardware and software. All the physical and mechanical equipment attached together to make a computer are called hardware. We can say that all the parts or peripheral devices of the computer that can be touched and seen, such as keyboard, monitor, CPU, that is central processing unit, printer, mouse, scanner, speaker, etc. are the hardware. We will discuss these in detail later. On the other hand, the set of instructions or a collection of computer programs that enhance the capabilities of the hardware and tell the hardware how to perform a task is called software. Hardware and software are complementary to each other. Computer hardware is of no use without software, and software cannot be utilized without the support of hardware. There are two major types of software: system software and application software. The system software is software by which a user interacts first, and then he works with application software. System software supports the computer to manage its internal resources. System program is not a single program but is a collection of many programs. Some of the important components of system programs are Operating System OS. An operating system OS is system software that manages computer hardware and software resources, CPU, memory, input and output, etc., and provides common services for computer programs. It provides an interface between the computer and the user. Windows OS is the most widely used operating system on computers. Linux and Unix OS are also used in some specialized types of applications. They are of many types like real-time, embedded, distributed, etc. Utilities. The utilities are also provided by the operating systems. Utilities are used to enhance the computer resources like the utility disk defragmenter locates and removes undesirable file fragments and reorganizes disk space and files to improve computer operations. Device drivers. These are specialized programs which allow other input and output devices to communicate with the rest of the computer system. On the other hand, application softwares are the softwares which are specially designed for the users, also called end-user programs. Include such things as database programs, word processors, web browsers and spreadsheets. Working of a computer system can be understood by bifurcating it into four main processes, that is input, processing, output and storage. Starting with input. An input device is any hardware component that allows you to enter data and instructions onto a computer. 6 widely used input devices are the keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, digital camera and web camera. Next comes CPU, that is Central Processing Unit. It is also called as the chip. A CPU, a processor or a microprocessor is often described as the brain of a computer. CPU is an integrated circuit or chip which processes instructions and data. Some common CPU examples are Intel i7, i5, i3, dual-core, Core-to-Duo, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, Pentium 4, Intel Celeron and AMD Athlon. Output devices are any hardware components that convey information to one or more people. 3 commonly used output devices are a printer, a monitor and speakers. At last, information can be saved onto storage devices like hard disks, CD, DVD, etc. We will discuss all these devices in detail in Chapter 2. Computer generations. Computer generations are divided into 5 major periods based on the technology it used and the nature of operation of computer systems of that period. First generation. Period 1942 to 56. Component vacuum tubes. Second generation. Period 1956 to 65. Component transistors. Third generation. Period 1965 to 75. Component integrated circuits. Fourth generation. Period 1975 to 88. Component VLSI. Fifth generation. Period 1988 to present. Component ULSI. Development of electronic machines. Electronic machine development has gone through many phases. Key developments include Leibniz mechanical multiplier, arithmometer, difference engine by Charles Babbage, analytical engine by Charles Babbage, Holleritz punch card reader, differential analyzer, Colossus, ANICAC and UNIVAC. Computer system. Terminologies. Computer. Basically, a computer is nothing but a device that accepts input, processes data, stores data and produces output, all according to a series of stored instructions. Data, the raw, unorganized facts, including text, image, numbers and sounds, are called data. Information, when data are processed, organized, structured or presented in a given context so as to make them useful, they are called information. User, anyone working on the computer, is called user. Characteristics of computer system. Basic characteristics of a computer system are speed, accuracy, high storage capacity, versatility, diligence. Computer system has a limitation that it works on instructions. It has no IQ, that is intelligence quotient. Hardware and software. All the physical and mechanical equipments attached together to make a computer are called hardware. The set of instructions or a collection of computer programs that enhance the capabilities of the hardware and tell the hardware how to perform a task is called a software. Softwares are of two types: system software, that is OS, utilities, drivers, etc., and application software. Working of a computer system. Working of a computer system can be divided into four processes, which are input, processing, output, and storage.